Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see Unix theory class session 6. In today's session we are going to study about the shell scripting, how to write the shell script and how to take the input from the user. Now shell scripting is divided into two types, interactive shell scripting and non-interactive shell scripting. In interactive shell scripting you are going to accept the input from the user. So your shell scripting is dependent upon the input from the user, and such shell scriptings are called as interactive. And non-interactive, there is no input from the user or the keyboard. So while script is running, the input does not require from the user or the keyboard. So such scripts are not dependent on the user input. So whatever is there in that script, it will execute it itself. Whereas in interactive shell scripting, it is dependent upon user input, and after providing the user input only, it is going to execute the remaining shell scripting. Now first we will see read command. So using the read command, you are going to accept the input from the user or the keyboard, that is standard keyboard, and assigns it to a variable. Now you already studied C programming and Java programming. So in these programming languages, how you accept the input from the user. Now if you take the C programming, in a C programming you accept the input with the help of the scanf statement. So with the help of the scanf statement, it allows you to accept the input from the user. The syntax for the read command is read command and variable name. So read command can be used with various options. So these are the various options with which read command can be used. So we'll see only the important options which are useful. So this is our shell script using the read command. Okay. Now you're going to open the VI editor. In the VI editor, you're going to type this code, and the first line, as I told you in the previous videos, the first line of the script should be always this. So it is an interpreter and it indicates which type of shell you are using. Okay, if you want to use different shell, you need to change it here. And echo, why we use echo command? We use echo command to display our output on the screen, like we use printf in a C programming to display the output on the screen. Same way here in a Unix Linux, we need to use echo command to display the output on the screen. So it is going to ask the user to enter 3 words. Please enter 3 words. So it is waiting from the user to enter 3 words. Now you need to declare the variables where the input will be stored. So this is the read command, and this is your variables. First variable, second variable, and this is third variable. So 3 variables you have declared where the 3 words will be stored. So in the first variable, some word will be stored. In the second variable, some word will be stored. And in the third variable, some word will be stored. And then on the screen, what you are displaying? Hello. See, whenever you want to display on the screen, you need to use the $sign here. See, that means you are going to use this $sign with the variables. That means whatever is stored in that variable, it will display on the screen. If you don't use this $sign, it will not display whatever is stored on the variable. So if you want to display whatever is stored on the variables on the screen, then you need to use this $sign. So whatever is stored in the first variable, it will display same as in middle and last. So with all the variables, you need to use $sign. So how is your output? Please enter 3 words. And which are your 3 words? Unix is Linux. Then next statement is echo. It is going to display hello. Then what is stored in first variable? Unix. What is stored in second variable is, and what is stored in third variable? Linux. So this is how you are going to use read command to store the values in it and display it on the screen. See, as I told you, read command comes with various options. So if you use here read -p option, okay, then please enter 3 words. That means it is going to tell you to enter the input on the same line. It is going to tell you to enter the input on the same line. It is not going to take the cursor to the next line. It is not going to take the cursor to the next line. And this is a code you are going to display it on the screen. So see, please enter 3 words, and in the same line it is asking you to enter the input for those 3 words, and it will display on the screen. Next option we use is -n. So -n allows the user to enter only the specific length of characters. So only specific length of characters. Now suppose if you want to accept only 5 characters, 3 characters in a variable, then that you can do using the -n option with the read. It won't allow you to enter more than the given number. Okay, after reaching the length you have given, it automatically ends the reading mode. You again no need to press the enter key. See this example. Okay, you have written here, you have typed here read command, and you have used the option -n, and then you have specified here the length of characters 5. So it is going to read only 5 characters now. It is going to read only 5 characters. You have used another option -p, means on the same line it is going to allow the user to enter the input, and then the message enter 5 characters only. Enter 5 characters only. So on the screen it will display enter 5 characters only, and front of that you are going to enter any 5 characters. Okay, and automatically it will come out. After entering the 5 characters, automatically it will come out of that, and it will not allow further to enter more characters. And this is one environment variable where if you type here reply, whatever the previous command was executed, that it will show here. Next option we'll see is -s. -s means secret or secure. So using this -s, you're going to secure the data whichever the user is entering, and that data will be not visible to the user or any other user. See, generally when you type entering the data, it appears in the terminal, but with this option the text won't appear in terminal. It will be not visible, but the characters are read. So whatever the user has entered, it will be read out, but it will be not visible. See this example. Read command, user has typed the read command with the -p option. -p option means on the same line the user is going to enter the input. So the message enter username will be displayed, and username, now this is like a variable. So in username your name will be stored here. Whatever is the user is going to enter, that will be stored in the username. This is another way to declare the variables. Now in this next line, the user has typed the read command, and they also used the -s command and -p command. Enter username will be displayed on the screen, and that enter password name will be displayed on the screen, and that password will be stored in the variable name password. Now you can see here user has already typed the password, but it is not visible, and it is stored in the password variable. Now if you want to see that username and password, you can use echo command with the variable name. See, this is the message which will display on the screen, and this is the value where your username is stored, because $sign is used here. Then this is the password which will display on the screen, and whatever is stored in the password, it will display on the screen because the $sign is used, which will show the whatever the value is stored in that password. See here, this is your output, username John, and password. So this is how you can use the read command to secure your data and to accept the variable names and store the value in that. See -i, another example, read command -n 5, and this is a variable. This is a x is a variable. So you are going to accept only 5 characters in this variable x. So in a variable x, only 5 characters you are going to enter. It can be any characters. For example, hello we have entered. Now we have used another example here, -s and y. So whatever you enter, see you are entering here but it is not visible. Whatever you entered will be stored in y. If you want to see that, just type here echo $y. So whatever is stored in y will display on the screen. See here. Output redirection. So the greater than symbol we call this as output redirection. This symbol we call it as output redirection or greater than symbol. So we have already used we already seen this in some of the examples when we are studying about the cat command. Is used for output redirection. Is used for output redirection. That means using this output redirection operator, you are displaying the output in a particular file. You are going to display the output in a particular file. See this. This is the command ls-al and its output will be now directed to listing files. Listing is the file where the output will be directed. Now when you open that file and see, the output is stored in that file. The output is directed to that file. You can see here. Now if you don't want the file to be overwritten but want to add more content to an existing file, then you should use double redirection output operator. We already used this double redirection operator when we are studying about the cat command. See now, there is a file sample. Okay, using cat command we opened it. So this is the data, this is the content in that file. Now what you are doing, using the echo command, you are going to display some of the text, some of the contents in that. You are going to write some of the contents in that file. See echo, thanks for reading. These are the contents which you want to send it to the file sample with the help of the redirection operator. So this is how we use double redirection operator when you don't want the contents of the file not to be erased and you want to add these contents to the end of the file. So when you open that file, you can see this line was the data which was already there. These contents were already there in the file and the new contents have been added at the end of the file. So you can use this double redirection operator with various commands, especially with the cat command. You can also redirect standard output not to just files but also devices. You can also send the output to devices in particular device. Now you can see cat music.mp3. So this output you are directing to the audio device file with the help of output redirection operator. So the cat command reads the file music.mp3 and sends the output to audio file which is the audio device. Same way you can also output it to any input output device files. Next we'll see input redirection. So input redirection symbol is less than. Output redirection symbol is greater than, whereas input redirection symbol is less than. So input redirection symbol is nothing but standard input redirection, that is less than character, is used to redirect the input of a command. So when you want to send some command or some input to some other command or files, then you can use input redirection. So when you want to send the input to any of the command or the files, you can use this input redirection. The commands that normally take their input from the standard input can have their input redirected from a file in this manner. See this example. To count the number of lines in the file user. Now there is a file called users, and we want to count the number of lines which are present in that file. So see, this is the command which will count the number of lines, wc-l. Okay, now that input, so this command is taking the input from this file. Okay, so wc-l is taking the input from this user file, and based on that it is showing the output. So 2 lines are available in that user. So like this way, one command takes input from another command or file. So this is the use of output redirection operator to send the output to some command or files, and input redirection operator to take the input from any command or files. So in today's session we have seen read command, how to accept the input from the user, that is how to take the input from the keyboard, and how to use the read command with various options, and we also use the echo command with that to display the messages on the screen. And we also seen input and output redirection operator, how to accept the input and how to send the output to any command or files. Thank you.